everybody, and welcome back to Woo New, your weekly Universal news and updates, where I go over everything that's happened at Universal Studios Orlando Resort weekly. This week at Universal, we have multiple major openings happening and a Halloween Horror Nights piece of news. So without any further ado, let's get into it. Starting us out in Islands of Adventure in the Lost Continent section of the park. The construction walls on Poseidon's Fury would be taken down on Monday, revealing the refurbished, brighter-colored temple. Fog and water effects would also be turned on. And later that day, the attraction would open for the first time in over a year. It would be stated that the ride is exactly the same. It just functions and looks better after the recent refurbishment. And this is really cool. People have been wanting to see this ride for a while, and it's great to see it come back. The attraction would go down on Sunday, all day, for unknown reasons. It would be said that it would open on Monday, though. In Hogsmeade, Honey Dukes now sells a new chocolate orange fudge. And in Seuss Landing, the roof of the Carousel, which has been under refurbishment for months now because of a fracture in the roof, which got completely ripped out and redone, is currently being resculpted to fit the theming, which means that we can hopefully see that we're at the closer to the end of its construction. And in Jurassic Park, it would be noticed Friday that 4 seats on the Velocicoaster's 4th train would not be used. They most likely had locking restraints issues and will be fixed soon. This means there's nothing wrong with the restraints, it just means that they're locking at times or in places that they might not want them to, so it's better to just refurbish it overnight and not have guests in the seats instead of removing the whole train. Also, after being up for a few months, walls at Camp Jurassic have been removed, opening the newly netted top stories of the play area. In Toon Lagoon, Popeyes and Bluto's Bow-Trap barges would reopen after being down for a week for scheduled maintenance on Sunday. It just has been drained and pumped out, has new water, and a few fixes and technical fixes as these refurbishments usually imply. In Production Central, in the Studios Park. In the Studio Audience Center, that is the entrance of the park and directly to the right, a new quiet room is here. It is described as a space where guests can enjoy a safe, quiet, low-stimulation environment to take a sensory break from the busier aspects of the park. It features focusing activities and a soft color scheme. Parties can use it in the room for 30 minutes at a time on a first-come, first-served basis. Also, Shrek 4D's recently exposed walls are continuing from last week to separate from the main structure of the building due to rainwater. This is something that's been happening as posters were removed from the former building of the ride, and nothing's been done to fix it yet. Also, Blink-182 songs would become available on the secret menu of Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket, and if I'm correct, I think that it was actually only for the weekend. In New York, the Classic Monsters Tribute Store now sells 4 new Classic Monster tees that feature the Wolfman, Creature from the Black Lagoon, Frankenstein, and a shirt that includes all of them, and Dracula, the Bride of Frankenstein, and a last one that I actually don't know. Some of the tribute store's facade would also see some wear, revealing a wooden pole underneath a concrete-themed piece of the facade. This is for the Mardi Gras tribute store. And Khaled would perform in concert on Friday and put in the viewing area at capacity. He'd put on a thing that people would love, just as a lot of other people have in these concerts too. As for Kids Zone, Woody Woodpecker's Nut House Coaster would celebrate its 23rd birthday on Monday. Happy birthday, Woody! As for City Walk, as seen over a few days in photographs, the screens on NBC's Sports Bar and Grill are starting to show wear, with dim-lit areas and frozen pixels, which means they might be refurbished soon. But they've been like this for a very long time, so they also might not be. And Two Sums also has some new octopus-themed snacks, being octopus treats and octo popping bars. Also, the Studio Store sells new Fantastic Beasts and where to find them water bottles, Hogwarts House water bottles, Hogshead coasters. Also, just something I noticed is that the Hogshead merchandise seems to have to do with the upcoming Fantastic Beasts and where to find them, The Secret of Dumbledore movie. A lot of other new merchandise for the series has also recently come out, which is probably tied into it. Also new at the store is Universal Studios coaster sets, mugs, and shot glasses. Also, in the parking garages, extra security checkpoints will be set up to make entry to the parks faster. This is in preparation for a super busy weekend, which it was. Also, the Legacy store has a new confrontation model. It is super detailed with like benches, trees, graffiti, and it has super cool little sets. I love these models. Finally, as for some general, parts of America had spring break last weekend, and with that, crowds came too. As I said earlier, over the weekend, and also just throughout the entire week, Universal was packed, running crazy wait times of like 2 hours for most popular rides. Also, the Halloween Horror Nights 31 speculation map has come out. Now, just remember before I start that this is just theories, so it's most likely not perfectly accurate. And it will change as the season progresses and we learn more. All that the map tells us is the predicted houses. These are the Mummy vs. the Wolfman, an original house called Seaside Village, Fear Street, The Last of Us, The Curse of Pandora's Box, El Chupacabra, and an original house called Underground Creatures, The Evil Dead, Halloween, and The Weeknd, as in the band, which is something that people have a lot of controversy about, but I would personally love to see. So that's everything that I could find at Universal Studios Orlando this week. I hope you enjoyed. I had a lot of big updates with a bunch of openings and a Halloween Horror Nights speculation map. Can't really go wrong with those. And anyways, with all of that said and done, if you're going to Universal Studios Orlando anytime soon, I hope you have an amazing trip. And this is Munu signing off.